What's sold in the month of August? Let's find out. Hey guys, Ken here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's that time again. I do a once a month What's Sold video. This is for the month of August 2022. I picked out some favorites for you that I think you might like, and that way you'll be able to be on the lookout for these types of cards when you go sourcing. And I'll also be, showing you what they sold for. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, guys, here we are on my computer. Let's start with this first one. This was in Virginia. This is a YMCA professional building. This is a street view in Portsmouth, Virginia. Sold for $8.75 with $1 shipping. And just blow it up a little bit for you so you can see that. And this is the back of that one. This was a linen card. Good sale. Okay. All right. Next is this pretty little kitten with flowers. This was a card I got in a lot, and somebody bought this for $5.75 plus $1 shipping. And that's very, very pretty. Nice pastel colors there. And let's look at the back of that card. Okay, and next one. This was one that I got from, remember I did that video where I told you I had bought some cards off of Amazon of all 50 states? Well, this was one of those. This is a 4x6 Continental, beautifully photographed. This shows the state bird, state flower, state map, that kind of thing. And it's amazing. These kind of cards you can buy at any retail store for like 25 cents. And I sold this card for $9.75 plus $1 shipping. So let's take a look at that one. It is a chrome. It's very highly reflective. And let's go to the back of that. That's what the back looks like. Okay, next one. Now this one is in Idaho, a man fishing. This was a good sale, $8.75 plus $1 shipping, but I really like this because it shows action, somebody engaged in recreation. You got the mountains in the background. This was at Sawtooth Mountain in Sun Valley. That's what it's called. Yeah, Sun Valley, Idaho. And I haven't sold a lot out of Idaho, but this was one that sold really well for me. And this was a linen, I believe. It is like a full bleed. And here's the back of that. Okay. That was a good sale. Okay, next. Here's another one out of that lot that I got. I got actually a couple of lots, and this one was of all 50 states. And this one says Connecticut. And it says the Constitution State, which is kind of their slogan. This was a 4x6 Continental. And it says Mountain Park View, Simsbury, Connecticut. And this was $9.75 plus $1 shipping. So I'm going to blow that up. This was, these cards are always chromes. They're very highly glossy, reflective. But they're beautiful cards because usually these types of cards are professionally photographed. They've hired a professional photographer to do these. And you can tell by the beautiful light and the angle and the composition and everything. And with me being a professional photographer, I shoot these kind of pictures, so I recognize that style. But here's the back of that one, very similar to the other one. Okay, next. Now this one, same thing, different lot. This was Joshua Tree National Park. Sometimes it's been called Joshua Tree National Forest, Joshua Tree National Monument. That's what it's called sometimes. And this was, again, a 4x6 Continental glossy. It was out of that group, $9.75, $1 shipping. A lot of photographers like to go to this area to photograph this area. I've seen many videos on this where a lot of professional photographers like to go out and scout out. In fact, one of the photographers that got me into photography, when I was doing it full time, a man by the name of Galen Rowell. Tragically, him and his wife were killed in 2001 in a plane crash. But he was kind of my mentor getting into photography. And I remember seeing a video where he went to Joshua Tree National Monument. and he looked at it during the like noontime hour. And he said, "This is great. We'll come back in the right light and do the finished photograph." So it kind of has a special meaning to me. And here's the back of that. Okay, and next. Okay, this one's out of Vermont. Vermont is another good seller for me. This is Pearls Bay Lake, Lake Champlain. I usually throw in words like water, scenic view. This is in Grand Island, Vermont, $7.75 plus $1 shipping. This is a linen card, full bleed. Sometimes linens can be full bleed like this, and sometimes they'll have a border. But you can tell by the texture. You can see the texture lines in the card itself. That's what makes it a linen. So we're going to look at the back of that. Now, if you notice, none of these have been post-dated. You know, sometimes they'll have the cancellation stamps on them, but I think that if they do have the postage cancellation stamp on them, they would have a little more value, but, you know, I sell just as many without it. That's not a problem. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one was actually, I remember this one because this one sold for $7.75, but I actually sold 4 of these to the same customer. So the final order ended up being almost $30. And this is a Modern House, Palm Trees, a street view in Miami Beach, Florida. You know, a lot of people, especially during the summer months and spring months, they think about, especially during the winter months too, they think about warmer weather, and they think about places like Miami and, you know, beaches and sun and 80 degrees while everybody's like freezing. This one sold for $7.75 shipping, and it is a linen, as you can tell by the you know, the lines going through the material in the card. And here's the back of that one. A little bit overexposed from the scanner, but still it was usable. Okay, and going on to the next one here. Okay, this was a, I thought at first this was a real photo postcard, you know, because it was black and white and it looked like a real photo postcard, or what they call it, RPPC. But it wasn't, it was printed. I looked at it under a loop, and I could see the little tiny black dots, you know, from being printed. So it wasn't, but it was a great sale. 1949. This one was post dated out of New York. It was an auto ferry boat, and let me blow that up. And as you can see on this one, because it was it had the cancellation postmark stamp on it. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't have the postmark cancellation stamp. I thought it did. It has this handwritten date up here. And what I did, as I always do, I zoomed in on it. That kind of draws attention to that important fact to that card. And I think that may have what helped sell that card. And it was a great sale, $14.75 plus $1 shipping. Okay, let's go next. Okay, this one, train under power. Again, transportation, anything to do with transportation, whether it be a train, a boat, a ship, a plane, you know, any kind of aircraft, anything like that that's under power. And this one is coming under nice bridge, $9.75 sale with $1 shipping. And this one is out of Connecticut, and Terryville, Connecticut. Beautiful card. This is looks like a chrome, but that's okay. It could be a linen, I'm not sure, but I don't see the texture there. But anyway, here's the back of that. And that was a great sale, $9.75, almost $10 for a card that probably cost me about 20 cents. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, here's one of a hotel in Virginia, and there's some nice action going along here. A lot of things going on in this card. You got cars parked in there. Nice angle. This looks like it may have been professionally shot. It was an $8.75 sale with $1 shipping. And let's look at that. It's probably a chrome, full bleed. And like I said, a lot of older cars there. There's the back of that one. Okay, going on to the next one. Okay, here's one of a television station in Virginia, WTVR Broadcasting. And this is in Richmond, Virginia, $7.75 plus $1 shipping. Street view. Looks like a chrome card. Looks like there's a little bit of motion blur in there because photograph was probably taken handheld and not on a tripod. Doesn't look professionally photographed. Looked like somebody just snapped a picture of it. And here's the back of that one. See, it says WTVR Giant Television Tower, and it's a radio and it's a television station. So really good sale there. And on to the next. Okay, now this one, this was another order that came in, and this was an artistic card. And this says Daughter's Room Painting. George Leister was the artist. And someone bought 4. This was another one where someone bought 4 of his cards at about $5.75 each. So, if someone is a collector of a specific painter, they'll usually buy more than one. So let's take a look at this one. And I zoomed in. There you go. That looks like it's signed 1992 and by the artist. And I always try to zoom in. Whenever I see an artist's name, I try to zoom in on that. And there's the back. And then this, see, Daughter's Room by George Leister, copyright 1992. I want to zoom in. I try to zoom in on those important facts. And I think that's a really great help in selling the card when you can zoom in on important facts like that. Okay, next. And this one was a nice sale. This was it's funny because this was 1910 card, and it was originally a black and white, and what they did was they colorized the fire engine. And this was an actual fire crew back in 1910 in Lowell, Massachusetts. Now, it's funny because I grew up in a little town called Tewksbury, Massachusetts. I was born in Boston. I lived there for the first year of my life, and then we moved to this little town called Tewksbury, and Lowell was the next town over from Tewksbury. Still there. And this was out of that city, and $24.95 with a $3.95 shipping charge. And the reason for that is on my higher end cards like this, I usually put it in thicker cardstock envelope, and it's like GSM. The rating on that is like 600, whereas the other envelopes I use are about 150 GSM, which is the thickness rating. But the ones I use for these is like 600 GSM, and they go first class parcel package, which means they have to be scanned by the post office. They get a USPS tracking number as opposed to a eBay standard envelope non-USPS tracking number. So that's why I charged for the $3.95, and they were glad to pay it. Let's take a closer look at this beautiful card. Well done on the colorization. Okay. And let's look at the back of that. There you go. There's the cancellation stamp. August 24th, 1910. Wow. Card's over 100 years old. And I zoomed in on that as well. So, again, I feel that's an important part of selling the card when you zoom in on those parts. But beautiful, beautiful card. Great sale there. Okay, going to the next card. This one, 1915 out of Maine. And this is in Portland, Maine. It looks like a bridge. And this is called Deering Oaks. $14.95 sale. Great sale. $1 shipping. And this looks like it could be a linen. And let's just move along. See the back. There's the postage cancellation stamp. That validates the 1915 year. And this is another thing I do too. You see how the text is written. It's actually written, the card is landscape, but the text is written portrait. So what I do is I always take another shot of it, and I flip the card in eBay so you can read the portrait writing, because the other text is landscape. So, your customer isn't always going like this and getting a stiff neck. Okay, and then again, I zoom in on the cancellation stamp, and all those are important. But that was a great sale, $14.95 plus $1 shipping. Okay, let's move on to another one here. All right, this was a $10 card that I actually took on an offer. And I accepted an offer for $10 on this one. I can't remember the original price. I think it might have been $14.95, and I accepted an offer for $10. But this is in Klamath, Oregon, or Klamath. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Funny, I live in Oregon. I can't pronounce it. I don't know. But anyway, it's a Sawmills Manufacturing, and dollar shipping on that. And I love aerial views. Anytime I can get an aerial view, I grab it. Okay, and here's the back of that card. And it has a 223 mark on it. That could be a date. I'm not sure. But that was a good sale. $10 on an offer. Okay, I'm going to move this along over here just a little bit. Got a few more here. There we go. And we're going to go to this one. Lighthouses. Beautiful sellers. Whether they're new, whether they're old, they always seem to sell well for me. This one sold for $9.95 plus $1 shipping. This is in 1954. I put the word barber pole in there as a keyword phrase because it looks like a barber pole. So a lot of lighthouses are like this. And it's striped. I put Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. I always put the name of the city, the name of the state, and the state abbreviation in there both. And I believe this is a linen. Yeah, that's a linen. I can tell by the texture in it. And here's a blow up of that one. Looks like it when it came through the scanner, it didn't hold. That's why I always tell people to make sure with the guides, you just kind of snug up against the card as much as you can. That way, when it comes through your scanner, it holds the card. This one slipped a little bit, but that's okay. But let's look at the back of this one. Okay, and it is hand dated 1954, and I zoomed in on that. Okay, and got a few more here. Now this one, St. Lawrence River, Thousand Islands View, Cape Vincent, New York. Great sale, $17.95. This is probably a chrome card with $1 shipping. Okay, and let's zoom in on that. Beautiful coastal view. And there's the back of that one. Rounded corners. That sometimes can be a great seller too. You know, most cards have a squared corner. And this one had a rounded corner. And that's why you always want to make sure there's enough room on the outside to see the whole card so you can see the edges and the corners. Now recently I did a video where I cropped in this. You see how this white area is very thin? Well, I recently did a video where I showed my settings on my scanner, which I changed that, so I increased that white view, so because Google likes white and that helps in the search on Google, so I made a slight change there. But in regards to that, you always want to make sure that there's plenty of room around the card so that you can see all of the edges and all of the cards. So if there's any damage or anything like that, you can actually see that. Because if you don't, especially if you get a card like this where it's rounded corners, if you zoom in too tight, it's going to square off those corners. And then they're going to get a card with rounded corners that they thought they were getting with square corners, and that might be a problem for you. So just a little tip there. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Got a couple more here. This one was 1912. Public library. These are always good as well because you might have somebody that worked there, someone that lived in that town that used that library. This is a night shot with a moon, and it's a street level. I always try to put street level view or coastal view or scenic view, anything with the word view in it, because sometimes these have been referred to as view cards. And this was another one I accepted an offer on for $10, and let's go zoom in on this one. And there's the front. There's the back. And there's the postage cancellation stamp. I'm not sure if I could read that. Oh, but it does have 1912 right down here. See this right here? Right below it, 1912. That's what you want to look for. Sometimes if you can't see the actual date because it's faded out or whatever, sometimes they'll stamp the year right down here on some of these older cards around the 19th century. 1900s, and I've seen that on many cards, 1912, 1914, 1918, something like that. They'll always put it down there. And I zoomed in on that and I made sure that you could see the 1912 right there. And again, this is another card that I flipped over because you've got some text over here that's written the exact opposite direction. This text on my left is written, pointing this way, and this one's pointing this way. So that's why I flipped the card over, so that your customer isn't like standing on their head when they need to look at the card. Okay, but that, I believe, let me see if is that the last one. Let me look at this. Nope, here's the last one. Okay. And this one was a great sale, $13.95. It's a chrome card of Hoover Dam in Arizona. It's an aerial view. I love aerial views. Nice still water with $1 shipping. This is a chrome card, full bleed. Okay, and we're going to look at the back side of that. There you go, pretty clean. But yeah, great card, great sale. And we're back. Thanks, guys, for sharing this time with me. I really enjoy bringing these types of videos to you. That way you kind of get an idea of what's selling for me, and what, you can be on the lookout when you're outsourcing for postcards and buying lots, what you can pull from those lots that are the best sellers, and maybe they'll, be best sellers for you as well. I really enjoy, doing these kind of videos. My wife, Kim, loves it. She loves to watch the different topics that, we come into contact with. And yeah, we have a lot of fun. So anyway, you know the drill. If you got anything out of this video, and I hope you did, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel. I appreciate it. We're getting close, guys. Getting close to monetization, which is 1,000 subscribers, or within striking distance. So if you want to feel like you want to share these videos with other people because they might be interested in postcards, be my guest. Share away, okay? And help us get to 1,000 subscribers. All right, listen, that's going to do it for now. I got to go. But as always, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.